Good evening and salutations, my GH friends. Anna and Jason. You know what's funny about this scene? It's the fact that she is there trying to beg and plead to not have the local mob enforcer kill someone. Okay? Let me just sit there and redo this sentence again. The police commissioner is trying to beg and plead for the local mob enforcer to not kill someone. And we all just sit there and just take a hot minute and just think about how hilarious that is. Yeah, I'll let y'all think about that for a minute. You know, part of her speech was that, well, if you go out there and you kill someone, we're friends, and that's going to look bad on me. I mean, you kill them, and how am I gonna how am I ever gonna sit there and have the trust of my fellow officers? How do you have to trust your fellow officers now? Like, seriously, how is that possible now? How many times did you call them in there to sit there and help you with this and help you with that? You don't think that they talk? Because they do. So, again, this whole thing is just laughable, right? Jason's like, yo, listen, I'm taking him out. Okay? How could you? Because she even is like, I got evidence. I can sit there and arrest him right now. He's still pissed off that he's breathing. So he wants to take him out now. She talks him down a little bit. She tries to she gets a call, and it turns out that the warrant won't be ready until tomorrow because she can't find a judge that late or whatever to sign off on it. Then she's like, hey, listen, I'm gonna let you go, but she says a couple more things to try to plead with him, and I trust you, and you're a really good friend to me, da 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 da. And Jason's like, yeah, you're a really good friend of me too. You didn't really sit there and say you weren't gonna kill him. So she doesn't feel better about the situation. But she walks out and that's pretty much about it. Now, the rest of this episode, we finally meet Tobias. What was it, like a year and a half, 2 years, give or take? Well, we finally meet him. Yeah. I love how we skipped the whole. Remember there was a part where Aiden was getting bullied? Remember that? Because I remember that. I guess we're just gonna act like that didn't exist, right? Um, yeah, we meet Tobias. And then Aiden wants to sit there and stay home to chaperone, because he's super protective of Liz, and I don't really understand. If this was some new guy in her life, okay, fine. And has he been a trash father? Absolutely. But I don't really understand what's the point of him deciding or asking, do you want me to sit there and stay, just in case? Just in case what? Just in case what? I mean, is he a rageaholic or something like that we just suddenly forgot about? Here's the thing. I get it. It's supposed to be sweet and everything. I get that part. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. Anyway, eventually he leaves. They talk, and then at some point, they kiss. Also, it's a temporary actor playing Lucky. So, I mean, he wasn't terrible. I don't think that Lucky is like a super memorable character where it's like, oh my god, I love Lucky. He's so. I got nothing. Hey, I got nothing. So it wasn't like this was terrible, but I would have preferred. It's weird because I wanted to think that I would prefer Jonathan Jackson, but I'm just like, what does he do that's just so super great anyway? I mean, hell, at that point, I would have took Greg Vaughn. Um, then things get flat. Things get real flat. You know what scene I'm talking about? Barney and Jack. They're not terrible. This scene would have worked a lot better, but I get it. I get it that the actor's going, he chose to leave for his reasons. But I guess this is one of those things where it's like, there's a point where he comes over and, the kitchen's kind of a mess. The kitchen's a mess. And she goes to put the flowers in the water. And then it just starts, spraying everywhere. Luckily, Jack knows a thing or two about plumbing. And I'm kind of looking at him just like, I can see when you take off the business attire like you're an accountant. I can totally see the vibes of you being a plumber. I can totally see it. I can look at it. It's the whole body type, just all of it. Yes, that works. What doesn't work is him screaming WSP on the spot. That's what doesn't work. So Lucas is set up by Maxie, but Maxie is sick or whatever, so Spinelli comes in there. And, he introduced Lucas to some guy that I can't remember his name, but, he's a model of deception. And they meet up and they hang out and they talk for a little bit. And, ultimately, Lucas is like, I've really done a whole dating thing in a while. And, the guy just pretty much finished his sentence being like, yeah, I get it. You're not ready. It's totally fine. Have Maxie give you my number or whatever. You just call me when you're ready. And so it really didn't go anywhere. But while that's going on, you have Brassnet there looking at it the whole time. And he's just, he's sad and kind of jealous a little bit. And he's not there drinking and stuff like that. He wasn't drinking too hard. I think he only had maybe one or two drinks or whatever. And Portia comes over there and Portia's like, I see you're, I guess you're flying solo or whatever. And then she makes a comment about, well, no one likes a sloppy drunk. Which is true, by the way. No one likes a sloppy drunk. Let's just be very clear about that. But then as he's about to sit there and finish up his tab or whatever, Lucas comes over. And Lucas is like, hey, you want some company or whatever. So you know that they're going to get back together. Right? You know they're going to get back together. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to sit there and mention about Brooklyn and Chase. We don't really do too much of this episode except for towards the end when they go to the Savoy. Because Curtis is not there talking about this mystery singer all night. Mystery singer. I kind of knew who it was from jump, right? The minute that they saw Chase and everything like that, I knew who it was. But anyway, towards the end, it was him. He sung. I fast forward to a couple of times because I just could not sit there and listen to his singing. And then towards the end, after Lucky leaves, and because Lucky left, and Liz is not there looking at the piece of cake that Lucky didn't take. But then she gets a knock on the door, and she runs to the door and she opens it. Now, she opened it. Part of me is not there being like, so you just don't even look to sit there and see who's at your door before you just start opening it. Okay. Of course, she opens it, and it's Silas. And he's looking all menacing and villain and creepy and all that stuff. Um, Guy and Trina go out on their first date. I made a joke about, oh, well, yeah, I had a couple of connections or whatever that got us up in here and stuff like that. And as they're talking, she's like smiling and stuff. And then, she tells Kai that she knows the owner of the club. This is Dad, by the way. Which Portia wanted to walk over there, and Curtis was like, no, when they first got in there, she wanted to walk over, and Kurt's like, let's not intrude on her date or whatever, I mean, when you were that age, you didn't want your parents in the day being all hovering around you on your date. And she's like, no, you're right. But she's happy, though, because it's been a while since she smiled and actually kind of put herself back out there. Which, that girl know how to put herself together, okay? Certain colors some people can't wear. They can't rock. That chick can rock that color, though. During the middle of this episode, Portia asked Curtis, would you ever sit there and, consider going back to, running the club and stuff? And, he's like, Aurora is a challenge and stuff like that. He just loves to rush and whatever. Now, she asked that question, not just, just a question, just to ask a question. I'm pretty sure she asked that question because she doesn't like the fact that Curtis is in this whole drama with Drew and everything like that. And she's like, hey, listen, come back to the club. You don't have to sit there and deal with Drew and whatever. So that's why I feel like that's why she asked that question. Other than that, it's not much about it. This episode didn't really do much. I mean, it was a Valentine's Day episode for the most part. So, like, there wasn't really a lot of story that was going on. That's pretty much all I got. Anyway, if I forget anything, let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you enjoyed this episode. I will be doing a live stream tonight. Well, let's be honest, in about 2 hours. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. And of course, as always, I talk about all four of the shows. And soon, Monday, 5, The Gates. Beyond the Gates. It's coming out. And I can't wait to watch it, review it, and everything like that. And I do agree with Phoenix Tremaine. If you don't know who Phoenix Tremaine is, he's a person who does like coming and goings and spoilers and stuff like that, which is normally not my thing. But he said something that was interesting, and I agree. Is that people really need to sit there and support this show. Because, well, let's be honest. If you support this show and you show the networks that these soaps are important and whatever, there's always a possibility that some of the other shows that people want to get revived, like All My Children, maybe One Like to Live, and so forth, could possibly come back. We can get a new soap opera after that. So, it's very important that we do sit there and support this show. Anyway, that's much all I got. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are, and I will see you in the next video, and hopefully tonight and the live stream.